Black Ops 6 is nearly on the horizon, and if there's one thing that Treyarch does well, it's progression systems. And for the first time in quite some time, gone are the days of waiting for seasonal updates to hit maximum level. That's right, in Black Ops 6, Classic Prestige has returned. And not only has it returned, it's returned in a huge way. Now, as you know on this channel, I tend to be quite cautiously optimistic about Call of Duties when they release, especially in the case of Black Ops 6. But this progression system and this Classic Prestige system might be the best Prestige system I've seen in any Call of Duty. Before we dive into the devil of the details, this new progression system has traditional level unlocks, a brand new Prestige system with max Prestiges, as well as the ability to flex old Prestige icons from previous Call of Duties, weapon camos with masteries not only for multiplayer, but also for zombies and for Warzone, and finally the return of custom reticles, something I have wanted since we somehow lost it in the original Modern Warfare 2019. There are also mastery badges for every weapon, equipment and field upgrade, as well as score streaks in the game that you can use in your social showcase. And of course, the classic medal collection. So at a basic level, you will have the traditional level unlocks from level 1 to 55 with progressive loadouts, perks, tacticals, lethals, field upgrades, wildcards, everything you would expect to progressively unlock one by one. But let's talk about when things get cool. There is a brand new Prestige Hub in Black Ops 6, and the Prestige Hub features everything that you get from going from Prestige 1 to Prestige 2, so on and so forth, and each Prestige actually comes with rewards like cosmetic skins, both for operators and for weapons. When you decide to Prestige, your player will reset to level 1, and all level unlocks will be relocked, requiring you to unlock them again. Your loadouts will also be entirely reset. All of your stats will remain under your lifetime stat statistics in your combat record. The things that won't be relocked or reset is your weapon progression, camos and reticles, your weapon builds, your challenge progress and unlocks, and of course anything in the store, battle pass, zombie gobblegums, or emotes and operators. So you'll keep all of your individual weapon progression as well as camo and reticle progression, but the ability to use them will be relocked until you reach the required level. You also get one permanent unlock with every prestige so that you can permanently unlock an item and keep it at your disposal. But what's really great to see about this year's system is you no longer need to reach max level with a weapon to start unlocking the camo challenges for it. Previously, in the most recent Call of Duties, you would have to make the weapon reach max rank, and then you would have to do the individual weapon camo challenges to get the mastery camos for that weapon. That is no longer the case. You could start unlocking camos pretty much straight away without max leveling your gun. The game features 9 prestiges, including Prestige Master, and each one of the prestige tiers comes with specific unlocks for your character. This ranges from everything from operator skins to loading screens to gobblegum packs to animated emblems. There's a lot that you can get with each individual prestige at each individual level. Prestige Mastery also features its own weapon camo. An animated blueprint for the Amez 85 assault rifle is included in this. And when you reach Prestige Master, you also get access to legacy Prestige icons from previous Call of Duty games across the various Prestige tiers, which means that you could equip a Prestige icon from a game like Modern Warfare 2 or Black Ops 1 in Black Ops 6, which is really cool to see. Calling cards, of course, have their own challenges again, as do Prestige challenges for those calling cards, and there will also be some quote-unquote Dark Ops challenges, which have a hidden mysterious criteria in order for you to unlock certain items within the game, and that hasn't been explained yet. There are also 100% completion calling cards for multiplayer, zombies, and Warzone, which all, again, possess their own individual mastery challenges, or camos in the game. Some of the mastery camos this year look pretty unreal, including Dark Spine and Dark Aether from multiplayer, and also we have individual mastery camos for zombies, which is the Afterlife camo, and the Nebula camo, and then we also have some more for Warzone, which includes the Catalyst camo. And each one of the masteries, the multiplayer mastery, the zombies mastery, and the Warzone mastery camos all have a dynamic animation that changes how the camo looks when you fire your weapon. We are finally seeing the return of reticle customization with 10 reticles to unlock in each mode for multiplayer, zombies, and for Warzone in Season 1. This means that you will have unlockable reticles for any given optic and compatible optics that apply to them, which means blue dots return, which means a purple dot is back, and you can see some of the various options that are available. And I generally just have to say it's really nice to see these return to the game. I think custom optics are one of the biggest things that I miss from the original Warzone. As mentioned before, every single equipment in the game, whether it's a lethal, a primary weapon, a score streak, or a tactical, has their own mastery badge that can also be applied to your social page, which means not only are we getting mastery camos, we're also getting mastery badges for individual items. I've got to say on the whole, this has actually been a really impressive set out from Treyarch, and they've really addressed a couple of concerns really early on. Gobblegums, for example, are completely unlocked from the beginning of Black Ops 6, and there are some extra ones that you can get for bonuses as you level up, but you don't need a certain level to get certain Gobblegums. Camo challenges in the game no longer need you to arbitrarily level up a weapon to a certain rank in order for you to actually start unlocking mastery camos, which means that more regular players who don't want to grind for 10, 12, whatever many hours it is per day to get these camos done, can unlock them more easily. We're also seeing challenge-specific camos, Warzone-specific camos, zombie-specific camos, multiplayer-specific camos, and now even prestige-specific customization options, which include character skins. I think this is the most attractive return to classic prestige we've probably ever seen, and in fact, just the return to classic prestige in itself is great to see. We're seeing some really good camos across the board for all of the guns. We're seeing really good options for prestige icons and emblems, 100%er calling cards and mastery setups that just allow people to grind whatever they want to grind, as well as the custom reticle situation, which I think is really cool. And having individual ones for multiplayer, for zombies, and for Warzone means that there's very likely going to be some specific ones that you might want to go and do, like a blue dot challenge in the zombies category, or maybe like a yellow dot challenge in the Warzone category. This is without a doubt not only a return to the classic prestige system, which many of us all know and love, but very much a step above that. This is buckets upon buckets of unlockable content for people who want to put as much time into this game as humanly possible. And I really think, for all the other flaws and complaints that I have about this game, the progression system has been an absolute knockout of the park here from Treyarch. And for a game that has had a number of microtransactions for cosmetics thrown into the game, it's really nice to see more return to conventional cosmetics being available for everybody based on the amount of time that they put in. The only thing that remains to be seen, and this is probably the biggest question mark surrounding all of this, is will all of this last and how long for? Now, undoubtedly, Black Ops 6 for its entire lifecycle is going to feature this prestige system, but one of the reasons they got rid of traditional prestige in the first place was to obscure the impact of skill-based matchmaking, or matchmaking generally, on your opponents. Now, the general consensus is that the wider community is very much aware of SBMM now in the modern era. And if suddenly you're in games where you almost exclusively see prestige masters or high prestige players, although time spent does not necessarily equal skill, it is a very curious thing. How many people, for example, will you see with a Warzone mastery tag, or how many people will you see with mastery weapons? These have all been indicators in the past, not necessarily definitively so, whether or not somebody is a time-invested player or potentially a high-skill player. And generally, for example, for me, I know that when I see an iridescent and above the rank skin, that player is going to be fairly solid. Now, I do think they're going to keep this around for the duration of the entirety of Warzone, which is great to see for the duration of Black Ops 6, but I do wonder how long it's going to be before I'm visually able to identify the degree of sweatiness of any individual lobby. But I guess to credit Black Ops 6 and to credit Treyarch, they don't seem to care about all of that, they just seem to care about providing a good progression system. And there's no doubt in my mind here that this is probably the best we've seen since the original Modern Warfare 2019 and some of the older classic Prestige systems from back in the day. That's all the news for the Prestige and progression system for Black Ops 6. I've got to say, I'm genuinely very impressed, and I think this is a wonderful thing. Not only is this game coming to Game Pass, which means that people can access it cheaply, but it means that once they're into the game, there's buckets of stuff for them to grind for if they so wish. Let me know your thoughts and feelings down below, folks. If you enjoyed this video, please do like, subscribe as well, and a huge shout out to my channel members who have supported the page. You can see their names listed here, and if you would like to directly support the channel, click the join button below and become a channel member yourself. A simple sub also helps.